On February 20th, 2014, dozens of protesters and 3 policemen were killed on Kyiv's main square, the Maidan. Since the Maidan Massacre, protesters have demanded that security officials be brought to justice for opening fire on the protesters. Protesters have denied any involvement in the shooting on that day. A new report from the BBC tells a different version of events. On today's press review for Ukraine Today, we take a look at a report by Gabrielle Gatehouse, who speaks with a protester who allegedly had a gun and used it. The piece is called The Untold Story of the Maidan Massacre, and the author interviews a man simply called Sergei. Sergei says for more than a month's time he was part of the protesters that occupied Maidan. When the shooting started early on the morning of the 20th, Sergei says he was escorted to the conservatory and spent some 20 minutes before 7 a.m. firing on police alongside a second gunman. The BBC journalist says Sergei's story has been partially corroborated by other witnesses. Sergei says that he didn't shoot to kill, he was just shooting at their feet. But his story stands in stark contrast with what has been the official protest line. The protest leaders, some of whom now hold positions of power in the new Ukraine, insist full responsibility for the shootings lies with the security forces acting on behalf of the previous government. Protest leaders on Maidan say they always did their best to keep firearms away from the area. But Sergei's testimony tells a different story. He says he was recruited as a potential shooter in late January by a man he describes only as a retired military officer. Sergei himself was a former soldier. The BBC piece finishes by stating Sergei's story does not confirm anything, as it is not clear who recruited Sergei, and in general there are still a lot of unanswered questions surrounding the shooting on February 20th, 2014. That's all we have time for today. Join us again tomorrow for another press review from the Ukraine Today newsroom in Kyiv.